Hi, it's Joy, and today we're watching The Dragon Prince, Season 2, Episode 5, Breaking the Seal. Very ominous title, probably has something to do with freaking Viren. I am just excited to jump back in with these kids and see what they're up to, and unfortunately see what everyone else is up to as well. Thank you so much, Albert, for sponsoring this show. Let's go.
Proceed alone to the meeting point.
Oh, the meeting of the kings and whatnot. You're not a king.
It is humbling to be trusted with the boy's education.
I'm sure it is, you bitch, as you're trying to murder him.
Decisions of state.
Apologize for my lateness.
Queen Anya of Doran, how you've grown. Welcome.
No longer needing a regent, I see.
We are here to
I speak for myself now, and for my people.
How old is she? 12, 13, sometimes they would. You don't have the right to talk down to her.
But these issues require an adult perspective.
It seems I am a crown without an adult, and you're an adult without a crown. Let's just begin.
I like this girl. It's also another reminder to him of why he has to kill Ezran, because he'll lose his power in only a few years when Ezran is about that age.
After centuries of fighting
it's a very thin world.
But a new threat has arisen to challenge all of humanity.
You have woken the threat, provoked the threat.
The Dragon Queen sent assassins.
And was there a reason that she sent these assassins? Can you think of that reason, maybe? Could something have happened?
And they murdered King Harrow.
Trouble is, this kind of fear is often an effective tool.
When I close my eyes, I see fire raining down. Death.
Seems like a you problem. We should. Oh god, this looks effective.
We must stand together to protect our common humanity.
You provoked all of this, and you're trying to get power through war. Ugh, power-hungry people are the worst. But this is a good lesson for children watching the show.
Well, Zim, wanna go count clouds again? Or we could nap.
Bless you, Zim. Oh, breaking the seal of the letter? Oh, baby. That is a better breaking of the seal than I was thinking of. To be honest, this sea voyage might have been a good time to break it to Ezran.
I am undecided.
Yes, child, you be the thorn in this man's side.
It means I've yet to make up my mind. I won't send my armies to face unknown danger based on a 2-minute speech.
Exactly, she's the smartest person here.
Least impulsive of us all, but the soft threats that are the worst. Sweet words can be more dangerous.
I love this kid. Oh.
He was a beautiful young king.
As I know you will stand by me through anything.
Oof. Where did their friendship go wrong? Or did he start grasping for more power? I love this episode. It's really a backstory about, like, both seeing their family, then I imagine Callum is going to read the letter at some point as well.
I brought you
it's sad to think of how short they got to keep this, how short-lived their happy family.
The king and queen.
Oh, Ezra. Yeah, that's the baby boy we know.
Someone's inherited your sweet tooth. Why do I deserve this? What did
you
I
don't.
do except being born?
It's true, that is the truth of all monarchies. But in this kind of world where monarchies actually do stuff and are effective, you should make a difference. I like this way of thinking.
Do you know who these unexpected guests were?
They were my parents.
Yes.
Interesting. Trying to brainwash the child, I see. With a true tale, no doubt. Oh. No, this is too precious. How am I supposed to keep going with this level of cuteness in my life? Oh! Babe, he still loves you. He still loves you. Oh! No, that's so sad. He does still love you. He's just asleep.
I'm serious, leave me alone.
Is it bait? Oh!
Wait. Why don't you join me down here? I could use a little extra light.
this poor little baby.
Carried them.
And 100,000 people will die.
This is a story that paints him in a wonderful light, doesn't it?
Will share all that we have with the people of Durin.
Oof, he wasn't so sure of that, was he?
We will share whatever we have with them. And we will share in their suffering.
I mean, that is a really, like, good message, but it's also a bit of a shitty message with, like, I don't know, it's hard. Like, I agree. I think everyone should share everything all the time, and I do think he's making the right choice. But at the same time, when you have, like, a king system, the king is like, I will protect you, people of Catullus, but actually I'm going to let some of you die so that I can save some people from a different kingdom. You know, it's interesting. It really does reveal a lot about Harrow, and I do think it's an ethical thing to do in a way, but it is also condemning your own people. I don't think there is any shame in just saying, like, we don't have like, I would share with you, but we do not have the resources, I'm so sorry. Because condemning 50,000 of your own people to death is not exactly a good move. Yeah, maybe actually this does reveal a weakness in Harrow's character, and potentially why Viren started to err away from the close friendship they had. Still don't like Viren. I think he's willing to murder children. I think he's not exactly... He just wants power for himself at the end of the day, but maybe he did see weakness in Harrow. Or, you know, that noble of doing the right thing, because he isn't going to be the one that goes hungry. His children aren't going to be the ones that go hungry.
Harrow had committed help far beyond our means. That Titan lives close to the border of Zadia. If we can hunt this monster and slay it, I can use the heart of the Titan in a powerful spell that will warm the land.
Interesting.
And allow us to magically grow an incredible bounty.
Enough to feed 2 kingdoms.
It's a mistake, Harrow.
Why do you have such a problem with this?
Taking someone else's life? Potentially initiating violence with Zadia?
Kill one monster?
Keep calling it a monster.
Yes, it's a giant beast made of rock and magma. I call
It might think you're a monster.
Does it have a family?
I sincerely doubt it has a family.
How do you know?
This is the last of its kind.
Why does any of that matter?
It should.
I want to build a better world, to really change things. That's going to take decades of hard work. There's no monster you can slay and solve all your problems. There's no...
I actually really do like her.
Only chance.
And it is a slippery slope. It led to your death and led your children all alone. Left them all alone, even.
We will enter Zadia through the breach.
Did she die on this mission?
Queen Sarai. I thought
No.
you disapproved.
I disagree. But I stand by you anyway.
Thank you.
They could have built a
This
wonderful
wasn't our marriage
kingdom.
vows, right?
Old adventurers from 2 kingdoms cross the breach together, hoping to find a way to help their people.
You invaded another kingdom and killed someone?
What?
Nothing.
Sisters. I do not have a good feeling about this. I do respect the kings for being the ones going into the... Even Viren, if he truly was there, for being the ones to do the fighting, because so often with royalty it's... We'll stay back here, you soldiers go risk your lives. The easy answer is not always the right answer.
My heart beat louder with excitement and fear. This
You
place
broke the
held
treaty,
the
or
promise of our
you
salvation
launched the first blow
of our destruction.
in reigniting this war. Now you're like, oh my god, Zadia's coming to get us. Like, yeah, you've invaded them how many times now?
I know it sounds crazy, but it's like right now, there are words he hasn't said to me. They're all
Oh,
right in there.
I know, my love.
Waiting to come to life
Once you've read them, he'll never
Then
tell you
once I
anything
read it.
new again.
forever.
The
Okay. Thanks, Bait.
first blow against Zadia by the humans. Breaking the seal. No! Ugh. I totally lost track of where we were in this episode, and I was like, I want to know what's in the letter most of all. So it was very interesting to see the rulers of the other kingdoms and to see the child queen. I don't remember her name. It also brings home exactly why sort of Viren needs to kill Ezran, because he's 9, 10. In a few years he will be marching in there and confidently being like, I can rule for myself now, thanks. So however ethical, I mean, in the real world I don't agree with monarchies. In fantasy they actually do stuff, so it's a bit better. It was a really eye-opening look into Harrow's reign, because you could really see him making dumb decisions, like noble decisions and good decisions. You know, what he was saying about sharing food with his people, initially you're like, yes, share all the food, and then when Viren's like, yes, but that will doom 50,000 people at least of our kingdom to die, and he's like, yeah, it's good if we share the burden. And I can kind of agree, from like a removed person looking over the situation, you're like, yeah, one kingdom losing 100,000 or two kingdoms each, that is better, that is less damaging to the economy and to everything. But from a human standpoint, as the king of your kingdom, you swear to protect your kingdom, and you're just like, oh yeah, 50,000 of them can die. Knowing as well that it's not like it's going to be a lottery of who gets the food and who doesn't, and his family is in there. His family will have all the jelly tarts they want. It is very quick and easy to say, oh, our people will take the burden, when you know you will not be taking that burden, and no one you know will be taking that burden. I think it definitely shows you how good ideals can sometimes be misguided or a bit naive. But I don't think they're misplaced. I think if he'd been like, but we're going to dedicate every second of our day to looking for alternatives, Harrow himself, you would be like, yeah, that's great. Or like, I'll go with you to the other kingdoms, and maybe between us, all of us will have enough of a surplus that we could help you. Why was it just the Catullus that could help? Now, it was also kind of bittersweet to see Harrow and his wife, to see their happy little family, because that does not last very long. She may die in this mission for all we know, and obviously potentially the queens will die as well, because she's been left alone as a with a regency for quite some time. Though if it is the story of how her parents died, she'll be like, yeah bitch, I know the story. But it was interesting to kind of see the reign, and again, you have to remember that this is through the lens of Viren. And in Viren's version of events, he is the hero. He always knew the right thing to do. He was the great saint. Part of me does wonder whether he might be the one that kills the mother, the wife, the queen, simply because I was not yet his #1 advisor, and he knows that she doesn't like dark magic. He knows that she often speaks against his ideas and his moves. I would not put it past him being the one to kill her. And I actually really respected her for her thing of, yeah, you call it a monster, but is it a sentient being? Do we have the right to just cross into Zadia? I mean, right now the human, I don't know that obviously the whole lore of, like, had Zadians come into the human lands recently and done something, but they don't really, until they murdered Harrow in retaliation for murdering the Dragon King and stealing his egg, they hadn't really done any. It wasn't like they were talking as though there had been a long run of these little grievances. It really just seemed like the humans just pushed their luck and pushed their luck and pushed their luck until they did something so bad that the Zadians were like, well fuck, we're striking back now. So, and again, I do not ever agree with them trying to kill Ezran as well, as, like, that is not ever justice. Maybe killing the king, the author that ordered it, but killing the little kid, no. But you kind of see at this point that Zadia is defending itself, and it's kind of trying to show, we will not just sit here while you gradually plunder us. But again, if Zadia has a lot of magic and access to things that could stop humans from ever having to go through famines and hungers, and they're not sharing them, maybe they should be. There's a lot of like very in-depth politics going on here. But I thought it was interesting to kind of see yet again the human arrogance of just like, we're going to go over there and just kill that guy. And you can kind of take it to an absolute ruthless point again of one life versus 100,000. Makes sense. You can make that make sense, but it is a line you are crossing. And I think it is exactly what the Queen said. It is the start of a slippery slope that no doubt leads to, well, why don't we just go and steal a mirror and a dragon egg and kill the Dragon King? Which is what led to Harrow's death, the orphaning of their children, and their children being left at the mercy of a power-hungry regent. Now, what I would really like to see at the end of all this is for our young queen to be like, thanks for the story. The answer's no. Like, you've just reminded me that we have been aggressing against Zadia. I think we should go for peace with Zadia. You know, something like that would be a really good way of her to deal with it, of her response to his situation. I do wonder about what's going to happen, if the story will get through to her. And it was quite interesting that the adults being like, yeah, let's do it, let's go, let's give you the manpower. But I think probably with them, they are very set in their ways because they are older, because they have had a lot more experience. And I think it is, you can get into a natural rhythmic pattern of, oh yes, I agree with that adult man. The adult over there, he thinks we should send an army, we're going to send an army. I think also their own fear for their lives, because the king of Katalas just got assassinated. I'm a king, I'm a queen, I don't want to be assassinated. Whereas right now the child is like, yeah, but I'm going to look at things from all the angles. And so I really did respect her. Bait broke my heart in this episode. Just, Ezran hasn't replaced you. Just right now there is a little baby that does need a little love. If he was awake, he would never have shoved you like that. He would have been fine with you sleeping with him. There is definitely some big brother jealousy going on there. But I'm glad that Callum let him stay. And Callum's opened the letter, so I am very excited to see what his father's last words were. So yeah, this was a really good episode. Frustrating one with that cliffhanger, but yes. And thank you so much, Albert, for sponsoring, and thank you for watching.